Hey everybody, Ben here for the Bonehead podcast, and interesting one for us today. So this week Games Workshop dropped a Touchline Tactics article, how to play Imperial Nobility in Blood Bowl. Now, I got really excited because I was like, oh my goodness, yay, an article about Blood Bowl. And then it kind of dawned on me that this article was for a team that was dropped nearly 5 years ago. Now, the Touchline Tactics articles are interesting ones. I've got a theory about them, but I figured we could spend a couple of minutes, and I'm not going to go into huge detail here, but I've played a lot of Nobility. I like Nobility. I've played against them quite a lot as well, actually. And I mean, you've seen them on the channel too. So I thought, actually, because there's some more you can see just down here, the more articles that are in this series, I thought we could have a look at it. So, welcome back to Touchline Tactics, where we get the inside scoop on playstyles and peccadillos of your favourite Blood Bowl teams. We assess their game plans, look at which skills to advance, and take our top picks of star players to bring to the Astro Granite. Today we ascend to the Royal Courts and announce the August presence of Imperial Nobility. Armed with a toolbox of skills oriented towards a defensive playstyle, an Imperial Nobility can really frustrate the opposition's attempts to advance up the pitch. Now, you guys know that I am not a defensive coach. Sorry, hay fever today. I am not. So when it comes to teams like Nobility, they are defensive. They are a very good team for teaching you how to frustrate the opponent and how to play positionally. But even though the thrower is technically a bad deal, the thrower runner catcher combo, it can pay off. It can pay off. The Blitzers, sorry, the Blitzers, not the runner. The Blitzers who have catch, I love them. I think they are brilliant. It's not really what you want to be doing with this team. Like, this team is all about the Ogre and the 4 Wrestle Boys, and mixing that with your Fend linemen to control the ground and then striking surgically with your Blitzers. Like, that's kind of what this team wants to be doing. It just wants to gum it up on the ground and give you the opportunity to just take a couple of hits a turn that really benefit you and really stymie your opponent. It's a weird team, but movement 7, block, catch, like those guys, they have the, and they've got easy dodge, easy blodge. They're good fun. Right, playstyle. Imperial Nobility are a defensive and control focused team. Boop, move my face. Oh dear. Who rely upon a diverse set of positionals to deny areas of the pitch to their opponents, limiting their movement options. Coached correctly, an Imperial Nobility team can be challenged to play against shutting down their opponent's game plans and winning enough minor advantages to force a victory. Bash teams are particularly vulnerable. Yeah, all right. With all that talent packed into one team, Imperial Nobility players come with high costs, so drafting a strong team will mean making sacrifices. Greater care will be needed when facing fast and agile teams like Wood Elves or Skaven, which can easily exploit holes in your defenses if you're not careful. Yeah, all right, that's reasonable. Okay, let's go through. We're going to analyze this as we go. Tactics. Retain alignment are cheap and armed with Fend. That's accurate so far. They can stall any advantage your opponent might gain from knocking them down. Don't be afraid to put them on the line to support more important players, or even commit fouls to get rid of an expensive player. Absolutely bang on the money. It's tough. The roster is expensive, so at $1 million you're going to be missing a couple of the players you want, maybe even more. And the linemen are cheap. They're 40k, so if you can put the boot in, you've got a 12-man roster. Brilliant, they're good to go. Fend is really annoying if your opponent wants to punch a hole through the line. So hey, Skaven coach here, there will be times where I will want to take a 2-die block to push away to make a hole so the gutter runner can go through with just a single 2+ dodge, right? Absolutely fine. Fend, really annoying. Like, it's really annoying for positional play, so I like that. It's very, very, very accurate. The role of the thrower is to get the ball into the hands of your blitzers, then serve as an extra body to protect the ball carrier as they move up the pitch. Interesting. So when it comes to the thrower and the Nobility team, it's amusingly the least important piece, right? When you've got 2 blitzers who are Edge 3+ pieces, and you've got 4 bodyguards who are Edge 3+, you actually do have enough. Now, I love the thrower because I love throwing in Blood. I love having the ball carrier. I love having the quarterback, you know. Who do we have in the championship? We had Fitzmagic. I love Fitzmagic. It was such a cool thing. But you can operate without a thrower, and it actually doesn't hurt you too much. The Noble Blitzers are the cornerstone of the team and should be protected at all costs. Starting with block and catch, you'll be relying on them to get the ball and carry it to the end zone. They will rapidly collect SPP, meaning new skills and even more reliability. So the Blitzers, yeah, where they've got catch, they are prime for a handoff, run. If you've got a thrower with a passing 3+, it's not the best, then yeah, they get the chance of that. It's interesting because they come with block, you end up using them as they're tight ends, I think is how I describe them in NFL terms. They're tight ends. They are your blocking catchers, which is amusing because they have block and catch. So they can strike and they can also score. They are right. It's interesting. They're the only blitzers I think in the game that don't have strength on a general access, except for like the elf stuff. They're the elf humans. So they get dodge very quickly though, which is very, very useful for what they do, but you end up with them becoming scoring threats, so more like catcher blockers as opposed to standard block blitzers, which tend to be like tackle, mighty blow, removal pieces. That's not how these blitzers work. You have got your heavies for that. Protecting your blitzers is important, and bodyguards, as the name suggests, are the perfect tool for the job. Stand firm and wrestle will make them perfect for resisting your opponent's pushes downfield or into your cages, using them to support your blitzers throughout the game. The bodyguards are great. Movement 6, Edge 3+ means they are perfectly usable as your kind of reserve ball carrier if you need it. But the fact they've got stand firm and wrestle and very easy strength access means that as they start cooking, you can kind of brew up a nice guard network. Guard, stand firm means that it becomes pretty messy and pretty ugly. You've got Fen linemen supporting them as well. So it becomes really difficult for your opponent to open up any holes through which to run, and the more guard you get, just the more miserable it becomes for your opponent anyway. The downside is that wrestle and guard is not the best combination, but as we've seen from gnomes, it is not bad. It is certainly workable. And then you've got the Ogre. The Ogre is a towering slab of muscle who wants to do nothing but bludgeon the opposition. If supported by bodyguards or linemen, they can tie up opposing players and hopefully remove some from the pitch. Yeah, the Ogre, once you kind of get to 1100, 1150, when you've got an Ogre on there and you've got your bodyguards and maybe one of them's got guard, and you've got the Ogre becomes one of a 1-2 punch. You got your guys on the ground, you got the Ogre, you kind of got the whole old hammer and anvil, right? The bodyguards and the fend lads are your anvil, and the Ogre with his mighty blow, strength 5, and Bonehead's not bad, is really, it's a good combination. If you can get a couple of removals, then yeah, you start to kind of make up for the fact that your team's not particularly fast and not particularly agile. Skilling up, retain a lineman, block and kick. Yay! Good to see Games Workshop recommending kick are solid skills to put on your lineman, though you really only need one kicker, while tackle can help pin down the agile teams who would otherwise get you in trouble. It's also worth just taking general skills on a random. You can always fire and rehire, so I love that. I think that's exactly right. If you could pick a couple of block fend pieces, really going to help your team. Kick is going to be really useful in every team, in every situation, to be fair. That's a bit of a generalization. I know that there are some times where kick is not the best skill, but I don't know, I like it. But yeah, randoms on these linemen is the best thing. Block is great, wrestle's very good, tackle's really useful, sure hands is really useful on a team that doesn't have sure hands. Even though you've only got edge 4+, it's not ideal, but it's pretty good. You know, there's just a lot of good outcomes for you, and I mean, the worst case scenario is you end up with shadowing linemen. I mean, it's 10k, maybe 20k, depending on how your league rolls with randoms. It's not a huge amount. And you don't have to pay for it. This team is short on money, but pretty reasonable on durability. Back to the article. Thrower. Sure hands is a must for throwers. It's very important to be able to pick up the ball. This team's got expensive rerolls, so yeah, that's useful. From there, you can look at block and or dodge to give them more power on the pitch, or leader to secure an extra team reroll. You could also lead into passing skills on the thrower if you wish to cultivate a longer game. Accurate pass and nerves of steel are all good first picks. So sure hands for the thrower is, yeah, perfect. Block is almost better. Like, it's boring, but normally block is not like the worst skill to be taking, so it depends. And this is the cool thing I like about a lot of these Blood Bowl teams, especially the nobility. The thrower is a suboptimal piece, but it's quite fun. I want to brew up a thrower. Yeah, I want to give him sure hands, and then I want to give him accurate so that he's pick up the ball on a 3++, and he's given a quick pass on a 2++, and I can start my blitzers cooking. Like, yeah, it's a lot of skills and things that could be, it's probably better to go block, to be honest with you. Block is useful all the time, whereas sure hands is useful once or twice a game. Block is technically right, and then you've got yourself basically a third blitzer on the team, and it's going to be helpful because if you go block, then sure hands, you've got a ball carrier that can operate well. Block is best, which is boring. Sure hands is probably just going to feel a bit better. Leader is going to help your team operate a bit better. Accurate, pass, nerves of steel, I like that. I like the idea of brewing them up into a throw. I think that's what we tried to do on the channel as well. I'm pretty sure he died. Noble Blitzer, dodge is the first skill each Blitzer should get. Yep, move on. Tackle and sidestep are also good skills to pick up. Tackle's good, sidestep is superlative. Sure hands is useful for the ball carrier, while strip ball is great for a dedicated sacker. Not wrong. Blitzers are interesting. Like once you got dodge, you don't really want much more. Like they've got catch, they've got block, they've got dodge. What you want to be doing is kind of keeping them mobile, so perhaps sidestep is the best thing in that regard, but it really depends. Like it depends on your league. You know, if you are playing agile threats, then actually having a blodge tackle piece is very good. Even if they don't have the strength access for Mighty Blow, it's still going to be really useful. And movement 7 as well. Yeah, I quite like that. I do quite like that. Bodyguards, one important skill is in their name, guard. Get that on as many bodyguards as possible to strengthen your defenses, and then you can look at skills that help the offense. Mighty Blow, tackle, strip ball, and the ever-reliable block are all good options for a well-developed bodyguard. Bodyguards are interesting because you kind of want to go block, but you've already got wrestle, so it kind of takes that away. Guard is great. Guard is the best thing you can put on these guys. And then you kind of look at you look at your meta, you look at the teams you're playing around, you look at the rest of your team, and actually tackle's not bad on these guys. Tackle stand firm is pretty horrid, but guard Mighty Blow is going to help you. If you've got 5 of these guys that are guard Mighty Blow, they're going to be able to support each other. Sorry, 4 plus the Ogre. Like that becomes really brutal. Like I think as boring as that is, it's not a bad place to be, because they're also with the fallback of 3+ edge, they're pretty decent, and movement 6 means they're quite functionable. Top 5 star players. It's not Friday, but we're having a look at the top 5. Griff, yeah, Griff's amazing. Taking them in a nobility team, either in a very expensive tournament or your league team's just got absolutely beaten. Zug is a fantastic pickup. He's a what, 220k, and he is basically just an ogre with no nega trait, and he got block as well. It's just fantastic. Rumbelow, Ivar, and Cindy Pie Whistle. So Cindy Pie Whistle's an interesting one. It's a cheap bombardier, which means they're kind of ubiquitous. It's going to be a cheap inducement for you. You technically get an extra body, and blowing stuff up is very effective as a Blood Bowl strategy. Ivar's fun. It's a good strength 4 block piece with guard, and you've got his raiding party ability, which means you can kind of move an extra square every now and again. I like that. That works well. Rumbelow, essentially a fast tackle piece, is going to be useful if you're going up against Skaven and stuff like that. Not a bad piece at all, because he's what, 170k. He's basically strength 4 when he's blitzing, and he's got tackle, so it's going to be really useful to be like, I'm going to go 2-die block your Imperial Nobility blodge guy. Works well. Zog is just great, and Griff is just filthy, but he tanks all the SPP. All right, okay. Do you know what? I don't disagree with anything in that. They kind of overstate the importance of the thrower, but I think that's because these articles are written with the view of play the game. Don't play, you know, min-max. Like, I want my thrower to become a really cool thrower, because you build an identity, you build a player, you build a character. That I absolutely love. Everything else in there, though, is entirely bang on. Very interesting. I think next week we'll pick up one of the other ones and carry on, because this is quite fun. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking.